$20 chicken pot pie. Have you ever had it? $20 chicken pot pie. I know what you're thinking. Sarah, that's like paying $20 for a PB&J. I mean, who in their right goddamn mind would pay $20 for chicken pot pie? I mean, a little rotisserie chicken, a few things of celery, a sprig of rosemary, and you're paying $20 for that? I actually did last week, and I got to tell you, it was like the best investment I ever made. I'm still obsessed with this $20 chicken pot pie. It was amazing. I'd heard about this place. I'm trying to think of how I even found this place. I guess I was Googling organic. All right. Everything in my life is a long story. It's a long ass story. Anyway, I decide to go to this like holistic doctor, right? And I did this whole blood test because, I want to have another baby. And like I want to have another baby relatively quickly. And, your whole body needs to like kind of reset and recover. So I go to this holistic doctor. She tells me I need to eat more red meat. And then I'm on I'm going to say 10 new medications. I'm going to do a whole podcast about this. However, I failed to tell her that I have diverticulitis. So I start trying to eat all this red meat. And I'm like crapping my brains out and bending over in cramps because apparently red meat like triggers diverticulitis. Anyway, okay. I feel like this podcast always goes back to my bathroom habits as well. Anyway, I was Googling organic meats, grass-fed beef. She said I need to be eating grass-fed beef. So I took it as Bible. I end up coming across the McLean Butcher in McLean, Virginia. So I look on their website. I don't think they have anything under $20. I think the chicken pot pie is like the poorest thing you can buy, right? So I'm like, all right, Jen's homemade chicken pot pie. I'm going to try this because the organic, grass-fed beef that I've been trying to eat is backing up my bunghole. I think to myself, this is going to be the biggest waste of money. Schman says to me because I went and bought a few things from McLean Butcher. Not sponsored, by the way. Schman goes, you better eat every last damn bite of these things for this price. I mean, you could make 10 chicken pot pies for $20. Anyway, I eat it. You guys, it was the best shit I have ever had in a long time. I don't know what Jen does. It's shiitake mushrooms. And apparently she puts vinegar in it. I was reading the ingredients. Vinegar, salt, pepper, oil, butter. The crust was insanely good. Shiitake mushrooms, spinach, celery, onion, and like rotisserie organic chicken. It was, and the whatever gravy she made, 5 friggin' star. I was here for it 100%. So anyway, if you've ever wondered what $20 chicken pot pie tastes like, I had it and I highly recommend it. I don't know who the hell Jen is. I don't know where she kills her chickens or what she does to them, but that shit was on fire. Welcome to the podcast. It's a brand new Sarah Fraser episode. We got a lot to get into. When actors and actresses don fat suits, is it fatphobic? Oh, I've got thoughts. Anyway, that's coming up. I've decided I want a redo of my engagement. I'm going to ask Schman to ask me to marry him again, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. Also, we still haven't found Brian Laundrie. I mean, this man is like the Houdini of being on the run. All right. I mean, remember when that Whitey Bulger guy from Boston was on the run for like 20 years? Did those two chat before Brian went on the run? And of course, right? Of course, Dog the Bounty Hunter is now backing out. I bet my money on Dog. And now he's saying, well, looks like it's getting too dangerous. I might have to step down. God damn it. I was telling everybody once Dog the Bounty Hunter found Brian Laundrie, I was done paying taxes. But now it looks like I'm going to have to continue to pay taxes. We got to get into that. Also, the controversy that people are so fired up about Justin Bieber, something that he did on his Instagram. So let me thank a couple sponsors and we'll get into and we'll get into this too. Saying goodbye to my Hokas. You guys know I rode hard for the Hoka sneaker brand. Got it. I have a bad update. All right. actonaddictionnow.org. Guys, if you haven't checked out their website, this month they launched an online summit for people battling substance use disorder. I love this organization. So many of their programs are absolutely free to you. They're located in Northern Virginia at Inova Health, but you can access their programs nationwide. If you or someone you know, a family member, a relative, send them this link to actonaddictionnow.org. It is worth them, even just sitting in and listening on a meeting. They offer one-on-one counseling. They customize a program for you. And as I mentioned, some patients even need inpatient treatment, and they help you. actonaddictionnow.org. Miracle Cord. I love me some Miracle Cord. So somebody actually asked me the other day, they said, Sarah, I see your Miracle Cord ads. What is it? So if you are pregnant, you're planning on getting pregnant, there's a thing called cord blood, cord tissue storage. Essentially what it is blood from the umbilical cord that is taken after the baby is born. Your doctor can do this very easily, even if you have a C-section, which I had. And what Miracle Cord does is they store that blood because God forbid your child were ever to get a blood disease, right? A cancer, okay, well, I'm not a scientist or a doctor, but other blood diseases. You Google them, all right? Well, anyway, if your child, God forbid, were to get that blood could actually be used in their treatment, their stem cell treatment. It's freaking amazing what science can do. Not only could it be just for that, it could be for their sibling. It's an incredible investment that you should make. The actual signing up, the blood draw, the whole thing, the blood draw, the sample draw when your child is born is anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500. Depending on the package that you select. But this is good for their lifetime. And then you pay a monthly storage fee. With Miracle Cord, what I love about them is the more years you pay in advance for storage, the cheaper it is. I'm talking just $100 and something a year. MiracleCord.com. Use my link, by the way. You can copy and paste my Miracle Cord link, which is in the description of this podcast. We did that investment for KJ. I like them so well. We ended up bringing them on as a sponsor. No regrets. They make it super easy. You can ask a bunch of questions before, and you can actually meet with one of their experts over the phone, on Zoom, however you prefer. MiracleCord.com, and check out my link in the description of this podcast. So let's start with some pop culture news, because I'm obsessed with pop culture, as you guys know. I watch all kinds of documentaries and TV. The biggest news, of course, will be the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, the 4-part reunion. It's the only other time Andy Cohen and the Bravo franchise has done a 4-part reunion was Atlanta back in the day. I think when there was tons of drama with Nene. Bring back Nene, by the way. I don't think that's going to happen after she accused him of racism, but a girl can hope. But I want to know how she's really doing after losing Greg, So I can't wait. The teaser for it dropped last week, and just, everyone's reaction, and Erica Jane. Till the end of time, we'll be asking ourselves, did Erica know about Tom Girardi's embezzlement and everything? And you're not going to get anything out of her. She is stone cold master. Oh, the season is so good too. I've gone back and forth of loving her and hating her. Okay, so let's start with a couple things. What would you do if you were Brian Laundrie's parents' neighbor? Okay, there's a mouthful. Have you read this story? Brian Laundrie, his parents down in Florida, their neighbors are charging the media as much as $3,500 a week to park in their driveway, use their internet, unlimited bathroom, use their refrigerator. Is this genius capitalism, or what the fuck? Why are people capitalizing on the tragic murder of a woman and manhunt of her boyfriend who allegedly, did it? This is what I love and hate about capitalism is I love that you can make a buck anywhere, right? You can, Americans especially love to buy shit. You go into people's homes, it's just riddled with junk everywhere. Everyone's home, from the rich to the not so rich, filled to the brims with crap. People will buy anything, hence those poppets, all right? But this is the part of me, nobody is even a good civil person anymore. And I go back and forth, but then people I put this story out and people were like, oh, I think this is great because I would take the money and then I would donate it to either domestic violence shelters or to Gabby Petito's search party shoot. So I was like, well, all right, maybe I'm here for that. Maybe that's a good thing. And I guess I would do it too. I guess. I don't know. Wouldn't anyone? Then I wouldn't, I'd feel like shit by doing that. I don't have a conscience when it comes to talking about people or topics, but when when it's someone's death, yeah. I say it all the time. Death is sad. Not really interested in that. Anyway, you guys kind of spoke on my Facebook. Most people were like, yeah, I'd charge them. And I guess it is the media. And they, by the way, are making a fortune off this case, which is why it's nonstop coverage. Nonstop. My mom called me this week. She said, Sarah, we need to do all of our Christmas shopping and you need to do any diaper shopping now because there's a diaper shortage. I don't believe that there's a shortage in shit ever in this country. Remember the pandemic when it started, everyone went mad for weeks and like no one could find toilet paper for literally maybe 2 weeks. There were a couple people that were out. And then after that, miraculously, we couldn't go anywhere, but the grocery store was somehow nationwide was just fine. I don't believe this. My mom goes, oh, there's going to be a major shortage. All those cargo ships stopped outside of California off the California coast that can't come in. And, you need to stock up on diapers because there's going to be a diaper shortage and babies go through 12 diapers a day. That's $80 a month, roughly. So I'm like, Mom, there's not going to be any shortage. My God, you go to Costco, there's plenty there. And she says the same thing about Christmas gifts. You better do it. They're going to... Anytime there's a shortage in this country, we believe all that crap. I don't believe any of it. Anyway, so if you are worried about shortages, diapers are apparently the next ones. People are flipping out, too, about Justin Bieber's Instagram page this past week because he dropped a teaser clip for his new Ghost album, which will be his 6th album, by the way. Could you believe that? I always say, too, like I met him back in the day. 15 years old, he walked into the radio station because for those of you that are just discovering this show, I used to work in radio back in the day for a show called The Kane Show, which was nationally syndicated out of Washington, D.C., he comes in with his manager, right? And this guy is going to be enormous. We're like, yeah. He was flipping his hair back and forth. He was like obsessed with Sammy's little chihuahua. And he sang Baby, right? Acoustic. We were like, all right. He was cute. He's sweet as could be. I mean, honestly, I would have gotten his underwear. Well, I guess I wouldn't have. He's 15. Anyway, okay. Well, I would have taken the shirt off his back if I had known how big he was going to be. But instead, I don't even think I got an autograph. I got a video. That was all I got. Well, he drops a teaser for his Ghost album of he and Diane Keaton looking like they are love interests in this new song, Ghost. She's 75, he's 27. People are like, you're about to break the internet with this. And I think they are. I love it. Some people were like, what? This is disgusting. What are you going to do? I hope he makes out with her. Wouldn't that be great? I talk about, breaking down all the stereotypes of ageism. Get it, Diane Keaton. Let's see you give Justin Bieber a simulated blowjob in this video. You know what I mean? Like, let's go out. Forget making out. Let's really empower 75-year-old women who want to be with 27-year-old guys. Isn't that amazing? I ought to do a show on that, by the way. Just like, did your parents get divorced or is your mom widowed? And then she started dating somebody like 30 and she was 70. How'd it go? Because maybe I'll hook Mama Frasier up with someone on a team. I can't even imagine my mom. My mom doesn't even know what to say to someone 27. I was going to rag on this topic so hard, but you guys know, I've dated somebody 18 years older. I've dated someone 15 years older. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And let me tell you, the hair on those balls was real gray. Yeah, so I can't hate on this at all. Anyway, I love it. Breaking down all the ageism. He's got a new documentary coming out on Amazon. Apparently, he and Hailey Baldwin, or Hailey Bieber now, are struggling to get pregnant. So they're going to talk about that. All right, I want to see it all. Anyway, that people were like, have mixed reviews about it. I love it. I'm here for it 100%. Also, do you think when actors and actresses don a fat suit to play a role that it's fatphobic? What? You've lost me. I'm lost. No, I don't think this is fatphobic. So Renee Zellweger is getting ready to take on the role of Pam Hupp. So you're probably thinking, Pam Hupp, like she's a crazy murderer. How do I know this? Okay, Dateline did a thing, and it was a podcast, right? Which was like huge. NBC did it. And I think it was like The Thing About Pam The Thing About Pam, which is all about Pam Hupp. She's serving a life sentence for killing someone. Then there's some debate if she actually killed like her neighbor as well. So this argument has been going on. And in fact, it's so, I can't even believe this, but Cameron Diaz says that she regrets in something about Mary, like wearing a fat suit for that, or maybe it was Shallow Hal, like whatever that film was that she donned a fat suit. She felt like it was fat phobic. I've been fat. All right. I'm 5'3". I currently weigh about 158 pounds. Now, how do I know that? Because I had to go to the doctor. I've lost like 10 pounds since giving birth, 6 months. Like nothing is working. You know how people say like when you have a child, your body totally shifts? It totally shifts. I used to gain and lose 5 pounds like in 2 minutes. Not anymore. Let me tell you, I'm a solid 158 and I guess to be staying there. Look, I've talked about mindful eating and I talk a lot about it on my Patreon, by the way. So if you're a Patreon member, patreon.com/The Sarah Fraser Show. It's just $5 a month. I tell you all my secrets, all my tips and tricks, just starting to love your body no matter where you are. Because at the end of the day, we're so much more than the size of our jeans. And I'm a complete advocate. You should love yourself. Whether you're 20 pounds overweight, 150 pounds overweight, are you healthy? Are you comfortable with your size? And you know what? Just the greatest thing you can do is stop hating yourself. That's the greatest thing you can do because that changes everything. But anyway, I have been 200 pounds at 5'3". I've been the girl at the party that no one wanted to hook up with. It was myself. I went to an all women's college. We'd all go to these other like all men's schools. All my girlfriends were hooking up with people. And then I was out in the frat house or whatever with the last guy who was also my height. He and I were more interested in eating the delivery pizza than we were in hooking up. I know what it's like to be judged for being overweight, but I think this is where Hollywood totally loses me. It's acting. It's acting. I don't find this upsetting at all. You're not putting on a fat suit to make fun of anyone. You're putting on a fat suit to don the role of that person. Remember when Tyra Banks actually wore the fat suit to know what it was like. And of course we know that people are fat phobic, but I don't, this is where like people just lose me in this whole thing. Like, how is that fat phobia? They're not making fun of anyone. You're taking on the role. It's called acting. I don't know. I was like, these stories like this like fire me up. I just don't even feel like they're a real story. And I want to know who's actually outraged. Is anyone really that outraged? Of course we know. We all have friends. Like I said, people would stare at me. People would make comments about my weight. My own family would make comments about my weight at that. I think at one point I jumped on my brother when I was 200 pounds. And my mom was like, don't do that. Don't do that. You could hurt his back. I'm like, Mom, okay, really? I think he bench presses about 200 pounds. Like, way to make me feel terrible, Anyway, I don't even feel like that's any controversy. Let's thank some sponsors and tell you why I'm getting engaged again. All right, ZocDoc. I absolutely love ZocDoc. Have you heard of them? Just download the free ZocDoc app. It's the easiest way to find a great doctor and instantly book an appointment. Just like many of you, I've avoided going to the doctor. I did anyway during COVID, but not anymore. With ZocDoc, I found an eye doctor in my area who accepts my insurance, and I booked an appointment that day online. That's how easy it is. There's so many appointments available with ZocDoc. For the same day. You can get a doctor almost in any department. Primary care physicians, dentists, dermatologists, psychiatrists, eye doctors, or other specialists. ZocDoc has you covered. Go to ZocDoc.com/TSFS and download the ZocDoc app to sign up for free. Every month, millions of people use ZocDoc, and I'm one of them. And it's my go-to whenever I now need to see a new doctor because you can look up so much information about them, read reviews, everything, and you don't have to wait on hold anymore for that receptionist. ZocDoc makes healthcare easy. Now is the time to prioritize your health. Go to ZocDoc.com/TSFS and download the ZocDoc app to sign up for free and book a top-rated doctor. Many are available, as I mentioned, as soon as today. That's ZocDoc, ZocDoc.com/TSFS. Can I spell? No, apparently not. Anyway, ZocDoc.com/TSFS. Also, I got to thank a brand new sponsor, Territory. I love you guys. You guys, because of you, my ads are sold out for the month of October. Thank you for frequenting our sponsors. I'm also offering ad rates starting at just $99 for the month of November. If you want to advertise with the podcast, thesarahfrasershow@gmail.com, please email me. The ads are going very quickly. Space is limited, and I would love to get your brand on like Territory. What is Territory? Territory is a beautiful shop where they do maps and goods. It's amazing. So what's your favorite city? DC, Arlington, Northern Virginia, maybe it's Chicago, maybe it's Detroit. Stationery and gift boxes, they offer all that. Territory is TerraTorie.com is the website. You can shop there, or we are doing a giveaway right now on my Instagram at The Sarah Fraser Show. Territory is the work of artist Tori Partridge, and she creates and illustrates maps to help you celebrate memories in cities and neighborhoods, whether it's the city you call home, the neighborhood where you bought your first apartment, or the street corner where you shared your very first kiss. She's a women-owned, independently run, and uses sustainable local printing methods. Hey, we love that, Tori. And when community is your passion, like it is with Tori's, creating thoughtful and centric goods comes just so easily. She's got some beautiful stuff, so check out her website, TerraTorie.com, for maps. And I actually got the map of Arlington, Virginia, because that's where Shman and I got engaged, and I'll tell you about why we're getting re-engaged. So Territory.com. Thank you, Tori. And go to my Instagram and enter the giveaway for a District of Columbia map. It's at The Sarah Fraser Show on IG. All right, so I teased two things, the Hokas and, of course, I'm getting re-engaged. So I've been thinking about this. I have some friends now. You know, I'm headed towards 40. So I have friends that are actually talking about renewing their vows. Does that seem lame? 10 years. 10 years. I have friends that got married when they were 30. They're going to be 40. And they are renewing their vows. And we're getting invitations to go to 2 vow renewals in the summer of 2022. And I said to Shman, you know, we've been together almost 10 years. Married. Going to be 3 this year. Oh my God, that's bananas. In 2022. So I said, should we do a vow renewal? And he's like, absolutely not. That's so lame. And I said, okay, well then I want an engagement renewal, because here's the thing. I got to thinking about this. You know, I got engaged next to a trash can and a war memorial. You know, I mean, seriously, in Arlington, next to in Arlington National Cemetery, to some Air Force thing. And then what is that famous war memorial with all the guys, like the Iwo Jima one? Okay, I got engaged right next to that. There's a tulip garden. Shman takes me down there. First of all, he was nervous, and we planned our wedding in 6 months, right? So people kept saying, I got engaged 4 months before our actual wedding day. And because we'd been together for so long, we just knew we wanted to get married. We planned it all in 6 months. We picked a date, we picked a venue, boom. Okay. But we really didn't plan out an engagement. So he takes me down. We go for a walk, right? I knew this was going to happen. I just had this vibe, right? And he was going to do it, I think, when we had gone on a trip to Maine, but then the timing wasn't really right. Or I think he didn't want to do it in front of my whole family and his mom, because she had come to visit in Maine before the wedding. So he takes me down. We kind of jog down to this tulip garden between the Iwo Jima War Memorial, the Air Force War Memorial, and, you know, a trash can that's there to collect dirt, you know? And he gets down on one knee and asks me to marry him. Of course, I said yes. We were crying. Do we have a photographer? No. We stopped some woman who was jogging by, you know. And we said, excuse me, sorry, can you pause? And she goes, oh, yeah, I love. And then she takes a picture of us. And I thought to myself, fuck a wedding vow renewal. I want an engagement renewal. Is there anything wrong with that? Hire a photographer, Shman. Find a fabulous romantic interview. Have our friends and family jump out from behind the curtain. I want an engagement renewal. Do you guys think that's too much to ask? I don't think it's too much. How about another engagement ring? Because that would be the same cost if we did a little vow renewal and we went somewhere. And give me the engagement that I deserve, you know? I mean, because it is odd when you're getting married, you know, I mean, you're trying to be respectful to the Air Force, you know, you're looking over at the guys at Iwo Jima thinking, oh my God, I mean, this was their last hurrah, trying to pitch up this flag for the American freedom. And here I am, I'm getting married, I'm trying not to cry. I mean, you know, it was just why don't they offer men classes on how to get engaged, okay? They offer classes on every other fucking thing. I mean, you can weave a basket online, for God's sakes. They can't, men need an engagement thing because they never know what to say, or they, you know, 101 of how to get engaged to a woman. Check out your surroundings, you know? Is there a trash can immediately in the picture scope? What about a war memorial? Because those things are not hot and romantic. I've decided. I'm just putting my foot down. Okay, I have sad news. Hoka Nation, I'm going to have to give up my Hokas. This is terrible news. I started physical therapy for my C-section scar. So I was having pain in my C-section scar and having terrible lower back pain. So I never even knew you could do physical therapy after having a baby or a C-section. My sister-in-law told me about it. I was like, okay. I call my doctor. I go, is this an option? She's like, yeah. I'm like, why didn't anyone tell me about this in the handbook, you know? I got the memo about not shaking your baby, but I didn't get the memo about the whole physical therapy for your C-section scar. So I've been going to physical therapy, and the woman says to me, why do you wear Hoka shoes? And I go, I don't know. I think I went to one of those shoe stores where they talk about comfort, and I think they sold them to me, and then they sold me this great insole. And she goes, oh, okay, you've been taken. She's like, your insoles that you put in your feet for arch support shouldn't bend, and mine bend everywhere. She's like, they're not supporting you. And then she goes, did you go to one of these stores where they actually watch you walk and everything? I was like, no, I think they had me step on something. And she goes, yeah, no, the Hokas don't have enough heel support and your heels kind of turn in. And she's like, I think you need to purchase this ASIC brand of shoes and you're going to need a professional insole. I'm not even 40 yet, guys, and I'm living as a 78-year-old easily, if not a 90-year-old. I mean, I am getting to the point that I'm going to have to get one of those magazines, where those Echo shoes that are just those wide sandals with the Velcro straps. I actually think I had a pair, What? Anyway, I don't think I'm going to be a Hoka Nation girl anymore. I loved my Hokas, but I don't think they're right for my foot type. I've loved physical therapy. I've learned so much. I'm sitting all wrong in my back chair. I need a lower back lumbard or something. So anyway, I think it's adios for my Hokas. So stay tuned, okay? I mean, I'm sure I'll be sharing all of that on my social media, but I just wanted to get you up to speed. So look, I'm looking for some other guests for my show. Okay, first thing you need to do, of course, is join my Patreon. I'm dropping brand new podcast episodes every Friday on my Patreon. Patreon.com/The Sarah Fraser Show. It's just $5 a month. You want to ask me any advice question, any product that I use, you can ask it all there. If you have any mindful eating questions, and I'm going to be doing at least one mindful eating podcast a month, that will be there. And then more of my personal life and more of hopefully Schman and KJ. I have to get Schman on board, Like I said with Schman, whatever it is with him, when it comes to me, I have to make sure the temperatures are right. I mean, I'm like, it's all about Schman in my relationship. Let me just tell you. That's number one. Two things though. I'm looking for guests. Have you seen those contests that Khloe Kardashian, Scott Disick, always put out all the time? And it's like Louis Vuitton handbags. You could basically win $10,000, $20,000 in handbags, right? Has anyone ever won them? Ever? I'm putting on my comedy investigative reporter hat, and I'm trying to find one person who has won one of those contests off of the Kardashians. Other major celebrities do them. Have you won the $20,000 Louis Vuitton handbag haul? TheSarahFraserShow@gmail.com. Or do you know anyone? And then lastly, I'm also looking for, because I'm thinking about this, but I have general concerns. Are you a surrogate and then you ended up having feelings for the baby? I'm just wondering. I can keep you anonymous. I can give you a voice changer, or fuck it. Put your face out there and share with the world who you are. I mean, isn't that what we're all doing? And fuck everybody on the internet that doesn't like you. That's my new motto. Maybe it's because I just like being right. And I don't want to be challenged on anything. Maybe it's that. Anyway, if you're a surrogate that's ended up developing feelings, or for a moment you had feelings while carrying someone else's child, TheSarahFraserShow@gmail.com. And I'm also looking, did you ever date your step-sibling? Did you date your step-sibling? Have you ever won one of those contests, or do you know anyone that has, on the Kardashians' pages? And then, are you a surrogate and you ended up getting feelings for the baby? I want to hear it all. TheSarahFraserShow@gmail.com. All right, bye, everybody. Love you.